All right. I'm feeling optimistic, guys. As the orphan Annie once said, the sun will come out tomorrow. Tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow. Etc. Anyway, why am I feeling so optimistic? Because America's going to kick these bums out. You know, I know there's a lot of bad news, but I'm feeling it. When we get that left-leaning next administration in there, it's going to be time to clean up. And you know what that means? Constitutional amendment fanfiction time.
Is that what that means? All right, I'm in.
Okay.
I'm not sure why I'm actually in such a good mood. I think maybe my wife spiked my coffee or something.
That puts me in a good mood.
I'm always in a good mood, yeah,
coffee.
when David's wife spikes David's coffee.
Constitutional amendment fanfiction. Like, Jeffrey pressed his palm against the Resolute desk and glared at the pages on the table. It's like, do I sign or do I let them take me? The constitutional amendment rose off the table like the Schoolhouse Rock and just railed him, just going to town.
The right of the people to peacefully assemble shall not be impeded. They must be allowed to come together.
Okay, guys. Not that kind of fan fiction. Oh my god. All right, here goes. We should get rid of the pardon power. Constitutional amendment. Get rid of it for governors. Yeah, this is bullshit. And if a Democrat was president, they could pass it. Like if the Republicans refuse, just start pardoning violent criminals and unleashing them on their states.
Yes. Yes, that's good. It's like, well, yeah, you don't think we're tough on crime? We'll be the weakest on crime you've ever seen.
So
that'd be good.
Prove me wrong.
We would at least get one of the things we want. It's like prison abolition. You can either have the pardon or you can have prison abolition. You can't have both. Or you can, yeah.
Yes, that's the threat. You get the idea, Phil. You get it. I'm ready to hear your adoring agreement.
If we're getting rid of the pardon, we should just get rid of presidents. Because it's a problem with the president. There seems to be a lot of problem with the presidents. Let's just stop having those.
Dude, presidents are great. Were you going to, like, put the 34th Senate Committee on Finance on Mount Rushmore? And have Chuck Grassley send SEAL Team 6 in to go fuck shit up? I don't know, man. Even if you get rid of the president, like, the Senate even has its own president, so you're still going to have a president. It's just going to be an even stupider president.
As much as I'm not a fan of the pardon power, there's no point in getting rid of it, because as long as the president has enough power to do anything, if you elect the wrong guy, he's just going to fuck shit up. And as long as you elect the right guy, he's not going to do stuff like abuse the pardon power.
Yeah. Okay, this doesn't solve everything about the presidency. A little secret, this is just an appetizer. Get America, feeling like we can actually change our broken shit again. Next, we get rid of the Senate, put soda in the drinking fountains. Poof, private property is abolished. We can finally force everyone to get a sex change.
I know who's sponsoring you. You're backed by Big Dentist, trying to get soda fountains, like instead of water fountains, trying to rot our teeth.
He caught me.
Big Dentist is radical. Big Dentist wants to abolish the Senate
and private property.
Big Dentist is in the Democratic Socialists of America? I didn't know.
9 out of 10 dentists approve overthrowing the government.
I feel like the maybe less politically viable version of this would also including annulling all prior pardons, prosecute Hunter.
Like hunt them all down, hunt down Hunter Biden. And
do you know how many shitty pardons there have been in this presidency?
I know it's a lot, dude. More than we could put on a tier list, probably.
Yeah.
How many January 6th, like, Capitol rioters
there were
got pardoned?
1,500 of them, just
Jesus,
for starters.
Was
that day one?
It was close to day one, if not day one. He pardoned the guy who ran Silk Road. I know that.
Right. There was Paul Walsack, which I almost misread, Paul Balsack. Anyway, his mom donated millions to a Trump-aligned super PACs, and Trump pardoned him for tax fraud, also on the order of millions of dollars. So there you go. Steal millions, donate millions, get out of jail free.
Well, not free. You just said they had to pay. Everything's free if you pay for it first.
Yeah, okay, fine.
That pardon costs $1 million.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Hey, does a prisoner exchange count as a pardon? I think the implication of a lot of prisoner exchanges is that they wouldn't still be prisoners on the other side, right?
Right.
Like Russia wasn't like, all right, we'll give you back Brittany Griner, but we expect you to prosecute her for weed or whatever she was in trouble for in Russia.
I don't know. That's a good question. My goodness. Insightful
So-
analysis.
Trump also pardoned those mercenaries who murdered all the civilians back in Iraq, right?
Oh yeah, the Fallujah guys,
Right.
the Blackwater
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
And that one guy who stabbed a tied up 17-year-old in the neck with a knife and killed him, who was a prisoner of war. That guy got all pardoned also.
Do you know why? And 'cause he was
he's
Republican?
He's a cool Navy SEAL guy, I guess.
Cool.
Because he seemed like a bad guy, and Trump likes evil people.
Yeah. So
and hates
anyway,
smart people. Maybe he was dumb.
This
Maybe he
guy
was
seems
just
dumb.
like,
he
yeah.
doesn't deserve prison. He's dumb.
yeah, maybe he just wasn't malicious. Like it was a Mr. Bean style mishap. He dropped the
neck
knife.
stabbing.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Joe Biden also had some interesting pardons on his way out of the door. He pardoned his brother James and his wife. Of course, then there's Liz Cheney, basically everyone on the January 6th committee, and Dr. Anthony Fauci. And I think it's kind of interesting. It's like, okay, you might say there's some justification because he's trying to prevent these people from being persecuted, which no doubt they would be facing legal problems. But I think that this is a blanket pardon. Just like if you find out that one of those people had committed murder, like they think they might just be off the hook.
Well, for federal charges, state charges, they could still be hit with.
So if they were murdering while crossing state lines.
Yeah, or like on a military base or whatever. Indian reservations.
They did their murdering in Puerto Rico or Guam.
Indeed.
What if they did it in the Marianas Islands?
What if?
Is that I don't even. That's beyond my legal training.
I think everything's beyond your legal training.
What if they did it in an embassy in like
Yes,
China?
Phil, what if?
Now we're back to the fan fiction, dude.
A couple historical notes I was looking at. Were the framers worried about, like, what the hell were they thinking with a pardon? Kind of that.
Honestly, I've never understood
Because
the
kings
pardon.
had that, dude, and the president's kind of like a king.
Right, but didn't they hate kings? They're like, we don't want a
Yeah,
Isn't
king.
that like part of the whole point?
Dude, so I like
having
there's this thought I have sometimes where it's like you can only get a certain number of mental steps away from where you start, right?
Yeah.
Totally. This is why in Star Wars there's a galactic senate, right? Like it makes no sense for there to be like Earth-style governments, but here we are at basically the UN with like a little cameo from E.T.
So the framers did actually argue about the pardon and whether it should be included or not. George Mason argued that treason should not be pardonable, and he was worried that the president could, quote, frequently pardon crimes which were advised by himself to stop inquiry and prevent detection, eventually establishing a monarchy and destroying the republic. So
Ha ha ha. How far-fetched.
but the framers did add an except in cases of impeachment clause, so kudos to the founders on that one.
Yeah, and that's working really well, so we
Well,
shouldn't worry.
it's not working, but it could. It could work. And it's good to know that that's in the pocket somewhere. If Mitch McConnell and I don't know. Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, just given the timeline around the whole second impeachment trial during Trump's first term, it's like, okay, the Republicans who didn't put him over the edge to conviction were like, well, he can be tried in criminal court for this conduct, so we don't need to impeach him. And then, like Mitch McConnell said that. And then, of course, later the Supreme Court ruled, well, he wasn't impeached, so he can't be tried in criminal court.
Would Mitch McConnell just go and lie like that? Oh, I don't know.
He wasn't
Doesn't
lying.
seem
He
like him.
could be tried in criminal court.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of people disagree with the Supreme Court's ruling here, right? Like it's and I think he probably thought it at the time, like that. Yeah, if this is criminal, like you can do a criminal prosecution of it. Will we see people get impeached after their terms so that they can be tried criminally? It seems like that's like what you have to do, assuming that the Supreme Court doesn't reverse their ruling once they're Democrats in power or something like that.
Okay, I have another constitutional amendment fan fiction. Whatever Brazil has in their constitution, we just copy off their homework because apparently
Laws.
they can prosecute. They can prosecute former heads of state. Like we should just do whatever they did. 'Cause
You know-
our shit isn't working.
I don't think that we want to emulate Brazil's, like, okay, they got this one right and we got the analog wrong, but their government is really weird. Like, their Supreme Court is super powerful, and also, like, everything can go to the Supreme Court, so they have an insane backlog. Anyway, I hear what you're saying. They're obviously doing something right, but...
Just copy out the good part.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm with
and
you.
not the bad parts. This is
Gotcha.
foolproof. Just like write that into the law. We replace provisions for impeachment with whatever Brazil is doing, but only the good part, and no monkey paw kind of style provisions. This doesn't turn out bad for us. Sincerely, America. Signed, the president.
That's a good plan. It's a good plan, Phil. Thank
Flawless
you.
is what it is.
All right. Got any other good constitutional amendments? Leave them in the comments and like and subscribe. Catch you next week.